Alright guys, guess what? I'm going to do a little hiking and fishing today. I'm going to my old stomping grounds that I grew up on when I was a child. It's Crockford Pigeon Mountain. It's a wildlife management area now. It's got a rock town. I haven't been up there in 15 years, I guess, but it is a huge tourist attraction now. But when we were kids, didn't nobody go up there. Well, hell, you couldn't get up there. It was one of the main reasons, but we would start hiking. We even had a friend of mine that had a Ford Fiesta. They had about 5 of us go. So we could get up the road. We'd go as far as we could, and then we'd get stuck. We'd all pick that car up and just lift it out of the ruts and stuff, and he'd sling dirt, rocks, and gravels and stuff all over us, and he'd go as far as he could. So basically, he rode up to the top, and we walked up to the top with a lot of extra work, but we had a good time. We were kids and stuff. So guys and gals, this is where we're going today, so I'll get back with you when I get there. That mountain right up there is called Pigeon Mountain. That's where we're heading to. This is just an old farm area here that's out before you get to it. I'm still sitting in the truck, but it's just some old farmland. But anyway, we'll get on up there so you can see what the mountain really looks like. Well, it looks like it is paved. I knew this part right here is, but it's never been paved like this. So let's go up through here and see what we got. You know, when we were younger, every time right here was all dirt and gravel on the bottom end of it. You'd take off and come up through here, and it never failed. These Bradford pears weren't here, but they would be about 40 deer. Didn't matter what time of day or night you came through, they would just fly across this road right here. And everybody would go hunt up on the top, looking for the elusive 20 pointers and the 10 pointers and the 15s and 8s and whatever. And my uncle and I would always come down here. We would go right out to the right over there, and that's where we would hunt, and we would get our deer and go home and be home by 8:30 in the morning. But anyway, let's see what it says here. I knew it was a user's fee. I got that before I left because they changed it all now. Must possess one of the following to enter 3-day hunting fishing license. No, a sportsman's lifetime don't have it. Got the wildlife management area. So I'm good to go. So be better if you just bought the outdoor recreational pass. Cool. Anyway, we'll get on up here and let's get going, see what we got and see what we can get done. Talk to you later. Well, here we are at one of the spots. It's called Pettyjohn's Cave, and we're going to be hiking over to it, seeing what we got, seeing if it still looks as good as it did. We've been in that thing many a times, way, way, way off into it. But anyway, we'll be back in just a second. So let's just kind of, hopefully it ain't going to be too shaky. See what it's got up here and see what it says now. We didn't have this. We'd leave a note on the hood of the car. We went in the cave. We won't be going in it today. Oh. Alright. Let's see what we got. You can tell there's been a lot of traffic up and down in here. This here was not grown up when I was a kid. This was all cleared out. It's got lots of trees in here now. to the entrance. What the temperature just right here coming out of it's like blowing a cold air conditioning. Like it's 84 degrees outside right now. It's probably 55 right here. Easily 55. We ain't going in it, or we're not going in it today, although I would like to go in it before I become too old again. Maybe get some of my friends and we'll go. We've been in this thing here, go in at night at a wild spur and decide we're going to take off and go in it, and go in and 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night and come out at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning and not be sleeping, but actually going in there and moving. It has had, I mean, it goes way back. Some of the best clay that you'll find is inside of it, but you know, you can't get it out now. He's decided he wants to go get a little cooler, I guess. Like, people's been burning fire up here or there. They burned the area off. He didn't make it. But anyway. Such a cool place. But I guess we'll get up and get out of here. Go to the next set of stuff that we can find, see what we got. Catch you in a little bit. Well, we're up on what it's called Hood's Lookout. Right up there in that mound used to be a Hood's cabin. When I was young, we stayed in it a couple of times that I remember. We camped in it once when I was maybe 10 or 11. I think my uncle brought me up here. When I was younger, we camped in it a few times, but I think when I was maybe 11 or 12, somewhere in there, might have been a little bit older, or might have been a small smidgen younger. Some of my drunk got up there and camped in it and burnt the damn thing down. So, there you go. At least that's the story. It could have been actually the wildlife management area took over it and they did it because people were coming up here and camping and they couldn't figure out no way of taxing it. Probably not the truth, but in this area up here, actually within 20 miles of this area, this is probably the best lookout you're probably ever going to get to see in this area. We're going to walk on over there a little bit closer to the edge when I get this camera set up, give you a better pan view of it, so hold on. Well, here you go. Right down here is something that I'm noticing that is new. That, I don't know who put that house in. Nice. That has never been there any of the other times that I've been out here. Of course, like I said, it's been 10 years since I've been up here on this particular spot. But the rest of the stuff is pretty much still the same. I may have zoomed out too quick on you. But here's the cool thing. Do you see all those others? There is that first ridge line you see up through there. That's Johns Mountain. On across there is the Blue Ridge, that last one. That's about 70 miles from here, maybe 65, 70. That first little ridge is right in front of us that you see. I can zoom out. Well, can't really tell in here because the lights are so wild. But anyway, that first little ridge right there, you see all the cleared out spots, the little dirt paths going up in it. That right there is Taylor's Ridge. That's the one that I consistently camp on, hike, and everything. It's beautiful out here. Temperature's good. Up here we're probably at about 80, 78 to 80 with a nice little breeze. It's quite a bit of riding out here now. People have been hang gliding off of this as well. A lot of people riding. I remember a friend of mine used to come up here and play the guitar, and we weren't very old. Give up some bad things about me, I guess, but used to be a place you could go when we were like 15, 16 years old, and the old man that owned the beer store, he knew we were responsible, I guess, or we thought we were, or he thought, hell, he was just making money. We'd just pull up to the drive-thru and say, it was a 12-pack or a 6-pack. And if we said a 12-pack, sometimes he'd hand us a 6-pack. And we'd say a 12, and he said, you want this or not? I don't know if he was looking out for us, going like, okay, there's just one of you, and 12 will get you in trouble, and 6 will not be so good. But I don't think we ever, I mean, at that age, we would just come up here and the beer tasted so nasty. You didn't have a good flavor to it at all. And you were drinking it because you thought you were cool. And as I got older, drinking is not a cool thing. I mean, it's just not. I mean, I do occasionally. I have beer now, and I'll drink a few. Sometimes I'll have mixed drinks. But I drink it for a taste, and I don't drink it to become belligerent and be cool, because I don't know. Now that I'm older and I look at these people that drink and just, you know, I don't know why they do. They may have some issues they're dealing with, and that's the cheapest form that they can get to help them with it. So I'm not knocking anyone that does drink or anything, but some of the biggest asses I've made out of myself has had a few beers in me. And some of the dumbest things that I am so thankful I didn't get killed or bad happen, it was due to alcohol. So it kind of reminds me of that Brad Paisley song, you know. But I mean, enough with all that. I can make sure we're zoomed out where you're getting a full view out there, and we're going to go on and get some more footage from other places. I really like this new tripod. I mean, I don't think it's making a lot of squeaky noises. That wind's probably picking up and blowing sound everywhere, so let's get on and get up and get out here. It's a good time of the year to be up here. It's not too hot. Maybe we can get some footage of some other stuff, so let's get going and get to moving. I'm going to try to do a little fishing while I'm up here, so we'll catch you later in a few.